Today on Good Morning Maine, a convicted killer appears in a Bangor court asking for a retrial.
Plus, the latest election news, including one major office that will be decided by ranked choice voting.
And why this election turned out to be a history-making one for Maine women. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
I'm Craig Colson. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We'll have those stories and more coming up in just a few moments. But first, we're going to check out the weather forecast. I've been watching out there. Still a little cloudy as we start the day, but we will see some sun as the day rolls along too. So not too bad out there.
A bit of a warmer one. Devin Biggs has all the details.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Thursday. And your first weather forecast brought to you by Shepherd Toyota, your hometown connection for Toyota cars and trucks. Easy to find on Route 1, Rockland, Thomason Town Line. Shepherd Toyota has a great selection of new and previously loved vehicles. At Shepherd Toyota, they don't sell you a car, they help you buy one. Come experience the Shepherd difference today. All right, let's get things rolling out there this morning. We do have a couple of advisories in effect, a small craft advisory up until Friday. That will expire at 7 a.m. We have a gale watch in effect until 4 p.m. on Saturday. I expect it to get upgraded to gale warnings as our system's going to be moving in Friday night into parts of Saturday. And it's going to be causing some high surf issues in a few areas. Moving forward, though, we are seeing a few returns on the radar. You might be noticing a few sprinkles in some areas this morning, especially further off towards the north. But if you're further down toward the south, though, no precipitation to be seen this morning. So overall, we'll be looking pretty decent. This right here is going to track off towards the northeast eventually, and then we're pretty much going to stay dry for the rest of the daytime today. So northern parts of the state seeing some precipitation this morning, maybe a few sprinkles in our viewing area, but everyone else looking pretty dry overall. Futurecast for today, again, just a few passing clouds. Today will be under a partly cloudy sky with a few more clouds on the way later on tonight. As for the winds, so the winds may get a little gusty from time to time out of the southwest, maybe getting up to 15 miles per hour at times, but backing off as we head towards the daytime tomorrow. Your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, you'll have a few clouds from time to time, otherwise a decent amount of sunshine with temperatures in the low 60s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
Thank you, Devin. 2 people now face robbery and kidnapping charges after an incident in Bangor. Bangor police say around 9:45 Tuesday night, officers were called to a residence for a report of a male with numerous facial injuries holding a firearm. Officers arrived, and after turning over the firearm, the male victim told them he had been at a residence on Court Street with his girlfriend when 2 individuals arrived and physically assaulted him and cut him with an edged weapon. He said he and his girlfriend were then held at gunpoint and locked in a bathroom. Police say the male victim was able to gain control of the handgun and escaped the residence by jumping out of a window. Officers were later able to locate the female victim. Both were transported to a local hospital for treatment of minor injuries. As a result of an investigation, 41-year-old David Bennett of Bangor and 28-year-old Kanaya Sakabason of Pleasant Point were both arrested and charged with robbery and kidnapping. They were taken to the Penobscot County Jail and are currently being held.
Well, meanwhile, the Penobscot County Court heard arguments for the retrial of a New York man convicted of the murder and assault of 2 men in Bangor. Devin Dagnall has that story.
In 2017, Robert Hansley was convicted for murder and elevated aggravated assault. He was sentenced to 25 years to life. It was concluded that in 2015, Hansley was involved in the murder of Robert Kennedy and the injury of Barry Jenkins in a Bangor apartment on Center Street. Hansley has now requested a retrial. In his appeal, Hansley argues that there was insufficient evidence to support his convictions and that the jury was misled.
Here I have a client and insistent that that is what he told his attorneys, and it wasn't presented because most clients do follow the instructions of their lawyers.
Hansley now claims that the shots he fired were in self-defense, saying that the Center Street shooting was a kill or be killed situation. He also stated that his original defense attorney did not direct him to claim self-defense. Robert Ellis, the state prosecutor, argues that Hansley's new defense does not align with his original and is even, at points, in conflict with it.
The best defense they could come up with. This defense never came up prior to trial. It came up after the best defense he could have.
No decision was made today. However, the court says a decision will be rendered within 2 weeks as to whether Hansley will receive a retrial. In Bangor, I'm Devin Dagnall, reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
Maine State Police have arrested a suspect in a 26-year-old sexual assault cold case. They say 56-year-old Jason Follett of Goldsboro was arrested without incident Wednesday on a local pier in connection with a 1996 sexual assault of a Hancock woman in her apartment. The alleged victim was 21 at the time of the crime. She is now 47 years old. Maine State Police say evidence collected from the apartment at the time was processed and an unknown male DNA profile was recovered. Through advancements in DNA testing and genealogy over the years, as well as other detective work, police were able to identify Jason Follett as the suspect. He has been charged with 1 count of gross sexual assault and was transported to the Hancock County Jail. Other charges may be pending.
2 separate 3-vehicle crashes closed a portion of I-295 on Tuesday. At approximately 4:10 p.m., Maine State Police responded to separate wrecks involving tractor-trailer trucks and other vehicles. Minor, non-life-threatening injuries were reported. The wreck was reportedly caused by the roadway being congested and the sun's glare at the time.
Maine Forest Rangers and the Alton Fire Department responded to a forest fire on the Bennick Road in Alton yesterday. No structures were threatened by the fire. It had reportedly been caused by a downed power line. The road remained closed yesterday despite the fire being contained as crews awaited response of the power company.
Well, a warning if you're looking to add a 4-legged friend to your home. Sanford police are investigating an alleged puppy scam on Facebook. They say a buyer will send money for a pup and then arrange to meet with a seller to pick up the dog. The seller gives an address, and while the address is real, police say the people actually living there are not selling puppies. The scammer then stops responding to the buyer, and the victim is out of their cash.
It's always really, really important to pay attention to things that you're buying online. You know, from noteworthy, sellers such as Amazon, those are generally a safe bet. But when you're, grabbing ads through social media or any type of other media like that, before you put any kind of money down or any kind of deposit, make sure that you can physically either see or touch the item that you're looking to buy.
Sanford police didn't share the address that's being used for the alleged dupe. Bottom line, police say don't send money for anything without physically seeing what it is that you plan to purchase.
It will be next week before voters get the results of the Congressional District 2 race between Democrat Jared Golden and Republican Bruce Poliquin. Though Golden is currently in the lead, the Secretary of State says the ultimate result will be decided by ranked choice voting. Our Jody Hersey has more.
It definitely looks like this race is going to ranked choice voting tabulation. We met with Maine State Police this morning. We have a plan in place for retrieval of the ballots and memory devices from more than 300 municipalities in CD2. Remember, some of those are very small and pretty far away from Augusta.
With neither candidate receiving 50% of the vote, Maine's ranked choice voting will ultimately determine whether incumbent Jared Golden or challenger Bruce Poliquin will be the next congressman for District 2.
No, this is really close. This is one of the true swing districts in the country. About 25 of these districts in the country. This is very close, yeah. We'll see where it all goes.
I like to say he's a workhorse, not a show horse. And the citizens of this district really appreciate that.
Secretary of State Shenna Bellows says both candidates, their political parties, and the media will be invited to Augusta when the ranked choice voting is tabulated.
For people who voted for Bond first and then had a second choice of either Golden or Poliquin, we are going to be reviewing that second preference, and those ballots get reallocated to Golden and Poliquin according to voter choice on those ballots.
Bellows says Mainers will know who will be their next congressman for District 2 next Tuesday. In Bangor, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
Well, meanwhile, the recount has been issued for the Ellsworth City Council race. The recount will be exclusively for candidates John Linehan and John Stein. According to City Treasurer Tony Dyer, the initial count showed John Stein winning the third and final seat by a margin of 56 votes over John Linehan. The recount will take place today at 10 a.m. in City Hall. It will also be broadcast live on the City of Ellsworth Facebook page and their YouTube channel.
The U.S. Department of Labor yesterday recognized 835 employers from across the nation for their commitment to hiring veterans. In a virtual event held by the department's headquarters, Labor Secretary Marty Walsh celebrated the business's commitment to employing vets in a variety of industries.
You are employers, large, medium, and small, from every corner of our country. But you have all of one thing in common. You have proven your commitment to recruiting veterans, hiring veterans, retaining veterans in your organizations.
Among the businesses recognized were Penobscot Job Corps Center in Bangor, General Dynamics in Bath, and Dead River Company.
Good for them.
Yeah, well, the time is now 8:10. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, we'll have more election results from around the state, including how people voted on local referendum questions.
But first, another check of that forecast. Looks like we'll see some sun and clouds today. The high, though, up around 61 degrees. More clouds move in overnight, setting us up for a mostly cloudy day tomorrow. The high tomorrow, right around 62.
Celebrate Maine artisans, sampling and shopping the very best of Maine-made products at the Maine Harvest Festival, Cross Insurance Center, Bangor, November 19th and 20th, presented by the Maine Potato Board, MaineHarvestFestival.com.
Let's face it, getting training and experience is hard, but at Loring Job Corps, we can help. From certifications in automotive technology, obtaining your CDL, or learning building trades, we have you covered. Maybe you prefer joining the high-tech world of computer networking or cybersecurity. We have that as well. Don't delay, get in the driver's seat to your future today. And the best part, Loring Job Corps is free. Receive free training, free meals, and even free housing. Call or go to jobcorps.gov/Loring. Job Corps careers begin here.
Mom and Dad, you must be so proud.
We're proud of all of our children.
She has to say that.
Oh, you can't run away from me forever.
Just a heads up, this is my good side.
Yeah.
Bazinga, bazinga, bazinga.
Ah! Are you trying to kill me?
Weekdays at 6 on Fox 22.
Celebrate Maine artisans, sampling and shopping the very best of Maine-made products at the Maine Harvest Festival, Cross Insurance Center, Bangor, November 19th and 20th, presented by the Maine Potato Board, MaineHarvestFestival.com.
Big Noon Energy.
Let's go! It is a sellout tonight, right here with us.
The crowd, the atmosphere, this is what makes it special.
Here we go.
You think they're ready? Bring it home, baby. Woo!
This is the best. What a game.
Get out! Make some
noise! Welcome back, everyone. Several municipalities saw referendum questions on their ballots that have big implications for residents and businesses. Matthew Juronsik has more on two of them.
As the dust settles following Election Day, some folks in Bar Harbor, Benton, Clinton, and Fairfield can breathe a sigh of relief as their ballot questions passed.
I'm delighted. I'm grateful for the support and the participation of my fellow townspeople. We definitely won a battle.
MSAD 49 question 1 asked whether the school district should build a new school in Benton. In Bar Harbor, the question was whether they should put daily limits on cruise ship for passengers allowed in town.
We have the issue of 3 aging school buildings that have really reached their life expectancy.
For MSAD 49, voters gave the thumbs up for a new school, but they also voted no on a $1.8 million gymnasium and more bleachers for public use. Even as the school question passed by at least 400 votes, citizens are pondering this decision.
And if I was currently on the school board, I'd be wondering and trying to find out, and understanding why there was such a pushback against it. I mean,
likewise, the Bar Harbor ballot question passed by a narrow margin of 500 votes. This limits the number of cruise ship passengers allowed in the town to only 1,000 per day at a time.
Just when a large number visit all at once for a couple of short hours, the town becomes a circus. It's unmentionable, it's unpleasant, it's unsafe. It drives away all kinds of business.
Looking at both sides of the issue, Kugelmeyer asked whether these decisions were worth it.
The board of directors of MSAD 49 and the superintendent has to ask themselves why they had such a small margin, and are they going to be willing to work to convince taxpayers to put the people in the buildings that they need to run all these programs that they said that they want to have in the new school.
Matthew Jaroncic, ABC7 and Fox 22.
Governor Mills stopped at Becky's Diner on Commercial Street in Portland around 9 a.m. yesterday to grab breakfast, but first met with reporters outside. She says she's now looking towards the next 4 years and even got emotional talking about the campaign. Before pouring coffee and grabbing a booth, Governor Mills talked about how she liked meeting new Maine families along the campaign trail. She says she's planning to tackle problems like high grocery prices, gas prices, heating oil costs. And yesterday she's focused on her hope to decrease the number of Mainers who rely on heating oil, and even got a little choked up talking about her supporters.
Leading the state through a very, very tough time. I just got to say the reception at the polls yesterday was as warm as I've ever seen it.
Mills said President Biden called to congratulate her, telling her he looks forward to continue working with her. She also mentioned there had been no call yet from former Governor Paul LePage, who has yet to officially concede the race.
Well, there were a lot of tired city and town clerks as well as poll workers around the state yesterday. Many of them counted ballots well into the night on election night, as voter turnout was heavier than expected in some places. Bangor City Clerk Lisa Goodwin says they put a lot of effort into getting ready.
This year went really well for us. The setup and everything was good. You know, there'll be little things that we will tweak for the next big election.
Goodwin says the poll workers were fantastic. She says everyone will meet today to discuss various topics, so they're ready for the next election.
Women are making history in Maine with newfound representation at the Capitol. There are many people who will be firsts in the legislature while vowing not to be the last. Mal Meyer looks at the diverse group of people getting ready to serve Maine.
I'm going to be learning a lot of sort of new lingo. I'm going to be learning.
Mana Abdi is ready to dive in on her new role, representing part of Lewiston as the first Somali American elected to the Maine legislature. She ran unopposed after her Republican challenger dropped out.
It's daunting because there's no blueprint, right?
Decca Dalak knows what it's like.
I realized that there is no voices that look like me in politics in Maine.
The soon-to-be representative for part of South Portland became the first Somali American mayor in the U.S. just last year. That ends in December. So she plans to continue her term as counselor while serving in Augusta.
It is amazing, you know, to be able to be the voice of not only for Somali immigrants, but also immigrants in general.
Together, they're part of a growing group of people of color in the legislature breaking barriers.
What's been most important to me is not to be the last, to make sure I'm holding that door open.
Jill Dusan will be the first black woman in the state Senate. She'll represent parts of Westbrook and Portland. That's familiar territory, having been the first black woman to serve on a city council in the state.
But it sounds like you're still nervous about it. Oh, God, yes.
All three women are excited to be part of this new representation while bringing with them a wide range of experiences.
As an immigrant community, as Somali, as a Muslim woman, we're not monolith. We do not all share the same ideas of how to fix things.
They hope to tackle everything from the housing crisis to healthcare to rising heating costs.
It's not about party, it's not about this and that, it's about the people. So let's just work for them.
And that is exactly what I intend on doing.
Fill my plate with your concerns, and I'll, prioritize and figure out how I can work with others in the legislature to move some things forward.
Congratulations to all of them. The time now is 8:19. Coming up after the break, we'll have the latest on Hurricane Nicole as it blows ashore in Florida today.
Plus, we'll meet the first Native American woman to launch into space as the nation observes a Native American Heritage Month. We'll be right back.
If you're a Medicare beneficiary and live in the area, call now to see how this little card could get you some big benefits.
including money added back to your Social Security check. With one toll-free call, you can find out how easy it is to get all of your original Medicare coverage, plus extra benefits. You get an all-in-one plan designed to fit your needs so you can be your best every day. You could have medical coverage, prescription drugs with $0 generics, dental, vision and hearing, plus the WellCare Visa Flex Card, money for over-the-counter items, and money back in your Social Security check each month, and so much more. And here's more good news. You can get a WellCare plan for a $0 monthly premium. How can WellCare offer all of those benefits for a $0 monthly premium? It's simple. Medicare Advantage and Medicare Part D prescription drug coverage are important parts of Medicare. WellCare has a contract with Medicare to offer and provide these important options to you. Call right now to get your free copy of the WellCare All-in-One Guide. Call 1-866-819-7962 now. There is absolutely no obligation for requesting this free information. WellCare offers benefits that go beyond the basics, including money added to your Social Security check to help cover your Part B premium. Call today to get your free copy of the All-in-One Guide with absolutely no obligation. Your free plan guide will give you the details you need to make a smart choice for your Medicare coverage. Just call 1-866-819-7962. Remember, there's no obligation for requesting this free information. So call 1-866-819-7962. WellCare. Call today.
Welcome back, everyone. It has been 32 years since Congress passed a law making November Native American Heritage Month. The entire month is set aside to celebrate the many contributions of the ancestors and the children of the original inhabitants of the land that we now call the U.S. Today, we're highlighting the first Native American woman that NASA has ever launched into space. ABC's Faith Abube has her story.
The SpaceX Dragon Endurance cruise ship blasted off into space with 4 astronauts and the hopes and dreams of countless people. At the helm of the Crew 5 mission, Nicole Mann.
This is Nicole Mann on board the International Space Station.
The NASA astronaut has become somewhat of a celebrity.
It's so incredible. I've received a lot of letters.
Humbled as she's celebrated not only for being the first woman to serve as mission commander, but also the first Indigenous American woman from NASA to ever launch into space. The 45-year-old, born in California, is a registered member of the Wailaki of the Round Valley Indian tribes.
I feel very proud to be on board the space station and certainly to represent Native Americans and Indigenous people on board. I think it's important that we recognize that there are all different types of people on board the International Space Station, not only from different countries, but from different backgrounds and different nationalities.
Mann holds a bachelor's and master's degree in mechanical engineering and has deployed twice to Iraq and Afghanistan flying jets in the Marine Corps. Space and the stars have always fascinated her. But Corporal Mann says she never thought she could be an astronaut until later in life.
I had never really understood what an astronaut did, who became astronauts, what it really took to become an astronaut. Unfortunately, in my mind at that time, it was not in the realm of possibilities.
Today, Mann is leading a team that's conducting numerous space experiments in an orbital lab. Her son and husband back here on Earth. The only personal item with her in space is this dream catcher.
It's pretty amazing in microgravity because it just floats and the feathers kind of go every which way.
A sacred Native American symbol that's believed to catch bad dreams and release good spirits. A constant reminder of where she came from.
I think that the strength I find in that is a gift from my mother. It's the strength to know that I have the support of my family and community back home, and that when things are difficult or things are getting hard or I'm getting burnt out or frustrated, that strength is something that I will draw on to continue towards a successful mission.
Faith Abube, ABC News.
Hurricane Nicole made landfall in Florida yesterday morning as a Category 1 storm. The National Weather Service says it had a maximum sustained wind of 70 miles per hour as it made landfall just south of Vero Beach. The rare November storm is expected to bring powerful winds to many central Florida beaches. The storm had already led officials to shut down airports and theme parks and order evacuations that included former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago club. Authorities warned that Nicole's storm surge could further erode many beaches hit by Hurricane Ian in September. The sprawling storm is then forecast to head into Georgia and the Carolinas later Thursday and Friday, dumping heavy rain across the region.
Last thing they need, but I think that folks down in Florida, if they get a Category 1 storm, is like no big deal.
Right.
Compared to some of the other ones they've had. But,
right, especially in this past couple months.
Yep.
Well, the time is now 8:25.
Time to send it over to Devin for another look at our forecast.
Thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Shepherd Toyota, your hometown connection for Toyota cars and trucks. Easy to find on Route 1 Rockland, Thomas, and Town Line. Shepherd Toyota has a great selection of new and previously loved vehicles. At Shepherd Toyota, they don't sell you a car, they help you buy one. Come experience the Shepherd difference today. Let's get things rolling this morning. No, here we are. We do have small craft advisories until 7 a.m. on Friday, indicated right about in here. And then further down, we're going to have a gale watches up, and gale watches are actually up for everybody now. Last until 4 p.m. on Saturday. Beforehand, we'll see this getting upgraded to gale warning for that other system that will be approaching soon. But this morning, though, we're seeing a few returns on the radar, so a few sprinkles can't be ruled out, but any of the precipitation that's falling is in the northern parts of the state. We'll throw the radar into motion. We've had a little bit of this moving through over the past few hours or so, and even as we give you the bigger picture, we're seeing just a little bit more of this that's going to be tracking from the northwest to a little bit to the east-southeast, but it's going to take a general northeasterly jog as the day progresses on, so don't worry about this. We will stay dry as the day progresses on later on. So you might be seeing a few sprinkles this morning, but that'll be about it. Let's zoom things out right now and give you the big picture. So high pressure is helping us out. I'll push a lot of this further off towards the northeast. We have a cold front located right about in here. This right here is going to be tracking off towards the east as time progresses on, and there's Nicole right there that made landfall in Florida this morning, actually just weakened into a tropical storm. So now it has made landfall as a Category 1 hurricane. The latest update now in has it as a tropical storm yet again with winds up to 70 miles per hour, moving towards the west-northwest at 14 miles per hour in these orange shaded areas, or tropical storm warnings that are in effect. Where is it going to be weakening pretty quick as the center of the system is going to stay over land. It'll maintain a tropical storm status for a while, but once we head towards Friday afternoon, possibly weakening to a depression as it tracks off towards the northeast. We'll see the remnants of this system mixed in our backyard, but we'll have to see as it develops. But otherwise, though, moving forward, maybe some gusty winds up to 15 miles per hour. Today, some gusts up to 20 miles per hour along the coast, and we'll maintain that a little bit later on tonight. All of the winds will gradually back off as we head towards Friday until our next system moves in. Wave heights are still up 5 to 7 feet. That's why small craft advisories are in effect, and of course, higher surf will be on the way as we head towards the weekend. Further down toward the south, though, here we are. We're seeing higher surf courtesy of Nicole. Some buoys seeing up to 29 feet. That's a lot. That's a very high surf, and that's being noted in a few areas. Our average high is 48 degrees. We'll reach for the lower 60s today, upper 60s for you Saturday before that sharp cool down moves in Sunday, and we're back in the 40s as we head towards the next week. Futurecast moving forward, though, again, we're watching those returns today. I don't think we'll have to worry about much rain. Just a few passing clouds, otherwise a lot of sunshine, with a mostly clear sky on the way later on site. But again, Friday night and the parts of Saturday, that's when our next system begins to move in for showers and some heavy rainfall at times, maybe even some thunderstorms as we head towards Friday night as well. Here's where it begins to move in. So most of Friday we're dry. It's Friday night where things can get a little interesting, and a decent amount of rainfall as well. 1 to 2 inches of rain cannot be ruled out before we're all finished up, so some more decent rainfall across a good part of the state. So for today, we're dry, partly cloudy, mild and breezy, highs in the low 60s, with that southwest wind getting up to about 20 miles per hour. Later on tonight, middle 40s, mostly cloudy, not as cool, with that south breeze getting up to about 5 miles per hour. Shepherd Toyota extended forecast. Friday is Veterans Day, mostly cloudy, highs in the low 60s. The rain begins Friday night, some thunderstorms possible as well. We'll have upper 60s on Saturday, rain likely, and some afternoon rain Sunday before we dry out on Monday.
It's been a great summer at Dorsey Furniture, but it's time to start thinking about fall. Our new fall introductions are arriving daily, and we need to make room. This means big discounts on selected items. How big? Half off. We didn't stop with just a few items. We have marked down every item in every department. Come to Dorsey Furniture during our fall clearance sale, and you won't be disappointed. Dorsey Furniture, Route 1A, Holden.
Renovating or building new, you'll find a wide selection of high-performing, energy-efficient, and beautiful windows and doors at Hammond Lumber Company. Your Hammond sales representative will walk you through the showroom displays and help you choose options to create a personalized custom look. Free in-home measurement is available, and Hammond can deliver your order from any of their locations across Maine and New Hampshire. Bring your vision and enjoy better light and added security and energy savings with quality windows and doors from Hammond Lumber Company.
Rowell's Garage has been serving customers in the greater Dover-Foxcroft region since 1946. Our goal is not just selling you a vehicle, but also giving you quality service to maintain your vehicle at peak performance. Browse our inventory online or in person. Whether it's a car, truck, or SUV, we can put you in the vehicle that is right for you. Sales, service, and parts. Rowell's Garage. Doing business the right way every day.
On the next Last Man Standing.
You do not have to worry about being the buffer between me and my mother anymore. Know why?
You killed it. When Mom comes to visit, Vanessa plays matchmaker.
She's not the kind of woman that you can have fun with.
You mean younger?
Exactly. See, the kind of women I go out with, they're interested in me for my money. And I'm interested in them because they're young women.
Last Man Standing.
This afternoon, starting at 4 on Fox 22.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine, and now for your national news. Now to the latest on the midterm election. Ballots across the country are still being counted, and the final results will decide the balance of power on Capitol Hill. So far, Democrats are outperforming expectations, while many Republicans are wondering what happened to the predicted red wave. ABC's Justin Finch is with more from Washington.
At the White House, President Biden giving his read on the midterms and Democrats' surprise successes.
We lost fewer seats in the House of Representatives than any Democratic president's first midterm election in the last 40 years.
Biden calling the results a good day for democracy and acknowledging voters nationwide sent a clear message.
I'm prepared to work with my Republican colleagues. The American people have made clear, I think, that they expect Republicans to be prepared to work with me as well.
Across the aisle, many wondering why the Republican red wave some predicted never appeared.
The numbers have been amazing so far.
Former President Donald Trump on election night insisting candidates he backed did great, despite many being projected to lose. But Republicans who either stood up to Trump or never sought his support found success, including re-elected Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
Thank you for a historic landslide victory.
The mail will continue to process every day.
Out west, Nevada and Arizona are still processing thousands of ballots. The results are crucial to determining control of the House and Senate.
There will be a runoff.
Georgia's dead heat Senate race between incumbent Democrat Raphael Warnock and Republican Herschel Walker now heads to a December 6th runoff election.
We always knew that this race would be close.
If you can hang in there a little bit longer.
With more days of ballot counting ahead, even the president is in suspense.
It's a moving target right now, but it's going to be very close.
And all eyes on a potential upset in Colorado, where firebrand House Republican Lauren Boebert faces a tight race against Democrat Adam Frisch. The two at one point separated by fewer than 100 votes, with nearly all ballots counted.
That was Justin Finch reporting. Well, a potential major setback for Russia in its invasion of Ukraine. Russian officials announcing they're withdrawing all of their troops in and around the Russian-held southern city of Kherson and bringing them across a nearby river. Kherson is the only regional capital Moscow has taken in its 8+ months of war. Taking back Kherson has been a main objective of the Ukrainian forces for some months now. President Biden indicated that Washington was aware of Russian problems, but then backed off a line that suggested it might lead to a compromise between Kyiv and Moscow. For that, we'll have to wait and see when that happens.
Still much more to come as Good Morning Maine continues.
Don't go away.
Comfy, cozy, relaxing. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find rockers, recliners, sofas, and easy chairs. Quality furniture, affordable prices. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
Hear that music?
it can only mean breakfast bagels are back at McDonald's. Imagine a fluffy egg, 2 slices of cheese, plus your choice of a steak patty, bacon, or sausage, all in a toasted bagel. That's right, the steak, egg, and cheese bagel, bacon, egg, and cheese bagel, and sausage, egg, and cheese bagels are all back, but only for a limited time at McDonald's.
Durable, sturdy, stylish. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find solid wood, built to last, made in Maine dressers, bureaus, and nightstands. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
Welcome back. Today is Thursday, November 10th, 2022. It's also the Marine Corps Day. It's the Marine Corps' birthday is what I'm trying to say. It's also National Vanilla Cupcake Day, Sesame Street Day, and Tempranillo Day. Is that how you say it?
Tempranillo.
Tempranillo.
It's a Spanish wine.
Figured out. Tell us what that's about.
Yeah. So Tempranillo is a red wine of the black grape variety that is native to Spain. It has a relatively neutral profile, so it's often blended with other varieties such as Grenache, or often aged in oak. It can usually exhibit flavors of plum and strawberries. So I'm not really sure why it's Tempranillo Day, but I took advantage of that and I wanted to talk about it.
So sophisticated. On this day in history, in 1969, Sesame Street premiered on TV, with it currently being the most widely viewed kids show in the world. And for birthdays today, we have Brittany Murphy, known for her roles in Uptown Girls and Clueless. She would have been 45 today. I also like Brittany.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tracy Morgan, who I also love, known for his role in 30 Rock, is 54, and Miranda Lambert is 39.
I like her, too. A little Gunpowder and Lead.
Yeah.
There. Good tune.
3 well-known stars for birthdays today.
Happy birthday to them.
Yep.
All right. Everybody's going to be probably happy about today's weather forecast. Not a perfect day out there, but here we are in November, and still temperatures up near 60 degrees.
I know. I don't believe we have our heat kicked on here in the studio right now, so we're pretty comfy.
That's great. Here's Devin with more.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Thursday. And your first weather forecast brought to you by Shepherd Toyota, your hometown connection for Toyota cars and trucks. Easy to find on Route 1 Rockland Thomason Town Line. Shepherd Toyota has a great selection of new and previously loved vehicles. At Shepherd Toyota, they don't sell you a car, they help you buy one. Come experience the Shepherd difference today. All right, let's get things rolling out there this morning. We do have a couple of advisories in effect, a small craft advisory up until Friday. That will expire at 7 a.m. We have a gale watch in effect until 4 p.m. on Saturday. I expect it to get upgraded to gale warnings as our system's going to be moving in Friday night into parts of Saturday. And it's going to be causing some high surf issues in a few areas. Moving forward, though, we are seeing a few returns on the radar. You might be noticing a few sprinkles in some areas this morning, especially further off towards the north. But if you're further down toward the south, though, no precipitation to be seen this morning. So overall, we'll be looking pretty decent. This right here is going to track off towards the northeast eventually, and we're pretty much going to stay dry for the rest of the daytime today. So northern parts of the state seeing some precipitation this morning, maybe a few sprinkles in our viewing area, but everyone else looking pretty dry overall. Futurecast for today, again, just a few passing clouds. Today will be under a partly cloudy sky with a few more clouds on the way later on tonight. As for the winds, so the winds may get a little gusty from time to time out of the southwest, maybe getting up to 15 miles per hour at times, but backing off as we head towards the daytime tomorrow. Your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, you'll have a few clouds from time to time, otherwise a decent amount of sunshine with temperatures in the low 60s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
All right, thank you very much, Devin.
Hey, still to come here this morning, Tyler Cruz will have your latest in local sports, and we have a local interview coming in. It's here to talk about Down East Cider and Cheese Festival.
I love cider and cheese.
Yeah,
Yum.
me too. Don't
Back
go
with
away.
more.
The time is now, New England. Medicare annual enrollment is October 15th through December 7th. Hey, I know the glory of a final second win, but don't leave your health care decision up to a Hail Mary. And now it's more important than ever to have a team you can count on. United Healthcare offered some of the first Medicare Advantage plans in New England and is the only company with plans in all 6 states. Now, with more than 250,000 members, they're the leader. But it's not all about being the biggest. Trust me, I know. Sure, all their plans give you access to top doctors and hospitals throughout New England, as well as the nation's largest network of Medicare providers with no referrals. They're also affordable with $0 premium plans in every state. free primary care visits, eye and hearing exams, and no copays for labs, virtual visits, mammograms, and colonoscopies. There's coverage for glasses and hearing aids, and many plans have comprehensive dental benefits. Beyond the benefits, United Healthcare cares. Whether it's diabetes, heart disease, a disability, a knee replacement, United Healthcare has personal navigators, a single point of contact to help you get healthy so you can live your best life. United Healthcare is also the only plan to offer Renew Active with free gym memberships, thousands of online workouts, brain exercises, recipes, healthy lifestyle tips, and rewards for staying active. There are credits for over-the-counter items like vitamins and aspirins and zero copays on hundreds of prescription drugs. You may even get rewards for routine care like annual checkups and certain preventative screenings, all backed by one of the most trusted companies in the country and the Medicare Advantage leader in New England, United Healthcare. Choose and stick with the plan that is in it for the long game. Find out which United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plan is right for you. Call 1-800-236-3146 or visit uhcnewengland.com.
Ready, set, sketch! Pictionary.
An umbrella.
Umbrella's correct. Every weekday
on Fox 22.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. We will start on the gridiron. For Maine football, going has been a little tough lately. They dropped their third straight over the weekend, but they looked very good against a tough Rhode Island team. And one of the silver linings in that one was the way freshman Rohan Jones has filled the big shoes of Sean Bowman. Ryan Sudol has that story.
It's been a tough couple weeks for Maine football. Their game against Rhode Island Saturday was their third straight loss.
Really like how we controlled the game for the most part. I thought in the second half we did not do that.
Plus, in their game against Richmond 2 weeks ago, they lost their leading receiver, senior tight end Sean Bowman, for the season with a leg injury.
Yeah, obviously, that was tough. It's captain on this team, a big leader. Obviously, we use him a lot.
But his long-term replacement is already making waves. Against URI, freshman tight end Rohan Jones caught his first career touchdown in his first career start.
I motioned, I faked the block on the rover, and went to the end of the zone for the catch. I knew at one point in the game, it was going to come down to him making a play, and he did.
A Montreal native, Jones first entered the program in January as a wide receiver.
He's had to learn 2 different positions in 1 year, so, it's a lot to ask for him, but, he's done a nice job with it.
Pound for pound, probably one of our strongest guys on the team. It brings energy, consistency, probably far beyond a lot of guys his age from maturity level.
And Jones credits his early success with the player who he is succeeding.
I consider him like a second coach because he's been here a while. He's played a lot of football, and he's really a good mentor for me. So, just the physicality aspect of the position, I learned from him.
Jones and the rest of the team will put that physicality to the test Saturday as they try to beat Albany for the 8th straight time. To be the top dogs in this year's battle with the Great Danes, the Black Bears are keeping their attention in-house.
They're a good team, a lot of good players, but, looking really focused on ourselves this week.
I think we're confident going in. We just need to keep working on ourselves, not to worry about what they do, just do what we do best and keep rolling against them.
The Black Bears game against Albany takes place this Saturday at noon at Albany. In Orono, I'm Ryan Sudol, Fox 22, ABC 7.
Thanks for that, Ryan. Let's see if the Black Bears can get back on track this weekend with a game against Albany. That's their penultimate game, and then you have the battle for the musket. Let's stay with some football now. No games for the Patriots this week. They are on a bye, sitting at 5-4, just over halfway through the year. A pretty good spot heading into the off week. Pats held their lone practice of the week on Wednesday. Just attendance-wise, David Andrews back at practice. That is a good sign for the O-line. Now, there's a lot to, let's say, discuss if you're the Patriots. While the record shouldn't really surprise anyone, 5-4, it has been quite the first half of the year. Losing Mac Jones early, winning the next 2 games with rookie 4th-round pick Bailey Zappi, now winning 2 straight with Jones after that weird Monday night game. So some discussions surrounding the quarterback position, but Belichick says lately the way they've been taking care of the ball has been good to see.
One of the best things we've done in the last couple of weeks is take care of the football in the passing game, especially. We've had it stripped out, but in terms of the passing game, we've kept the ball from being intercepted and really from the defense getting their hands on very many of them, and that's a good thing.
All right, next up is the Jets after the bye. All right, let's move on now. Any boxing fans out there? There is a big night this weekend for pro boxing in Maine and a chance to meet a Super Bowl champ while you're at it. The Portland Boxing Club is hosting an all-star night of boxing Saturday at the Expo. Doors open at 6, and there will be a meet and greet with former Patriots linebacker Rob Ninkovich and heavyweight champ Buster Douglas, who knocked out Tyson as a 42-1 underdog. Just a little nugget there. There will be 6 pro bouts, and headlining the show is the middleweight championship fight between Jason Quirk and Anthony Hines, and it's the 107th show in the Portland Boxing Club's history.
We've done it from the grassroots up, the small shows, the bigger shows, and now these shows where we'll have 3,000 fans there. We have such a great fan base in Portland. This is the right kind of town to support the locals. These are local guys that people have seen come up through the ranks as an amateur and now as a pro. So it's a great, we have great community support.
That should be a fun night down there. Let's move on to some hoops now. Celtics, hot start to the year for them. They're looking for their 4th straight victory and 8th overall. Pistons in town on Wednesday, looking to take a victory on the road. These two will meet again on Saturday. First quarter, Jaylen Brown from Jason Tatum. 2 dribbles, pulls up, splashes the 3. Celtics are up 9 early. They're up 3 now. Moving on, and it's going to be former Maine Celtic Sam Hauser. He takes a 3. That makes it a 6-point lead for the Seas. And then with 2 minutes to go before the half, check out this play, this monster throwdown from Brown. The Seas just having their way tonight with Detroit. And then the second half was all Jason Tatum. He would rattle off 16 points in the first 5 minutes of the third quarter, just really shooting the lights out there. And the Celtics, they go on to win big, 128-112. So they have been starting the year pretty good down in Boston. Looks like they're picking up right where they left off from last year. New head coach, no problem. That's all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
$7.8 million. That's how much I made home sellers in the past 2 years. Planning on selling? I'm Holly Taylor. Come to the one who gets it done. HollyTaylor.Realtor.
Autumn of Life Home Care is a great place to work. The team here provided me with all the opportunities and experience necessary to grow within the company, all while working around my busy college schedule. They provided all the necessary licensing and training. It truly was the job that kickstarted my career.
Autumn of Life Home Care in Brewer is a licensed agency with personal support specialists.
Let our compassionate, reliable, considerate caregivers make your life a little easier by providing assistance for you or your loved one.
Autumn of Life Home Care. We focus on you. Apply today.
When pipes froze and water damage ravaged a home, Bouchard Cleaning was there to restore and dry things up. When a home in Wells needed mold remediation, Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration performed as promised. From Madawaska to Owl's Head, Ashland to Bath, we've answered the call. More than just a cleaning company, we're restoring Maine. Statewide commercial and residential services. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration.
At Riptide Smoke Shop, we pride ourselves on being local. Riptide is locally owned and operated at its new location in Belfast. We have a large selection of glass from over 40 local artists. We have prices for everyone, starting at just a few dollars. Trying to quit? Try one of our 50-plus vape flavors. Riptide offers incense, pendants, clothing, art, and more. Come vibe with the Tide. A deal worth the drive.
When selling your home, knowing your options could make you tens of thousands of dollars. That's what I do for my clients. I'm Holly Taylor. Come to the one who gets it done. HollyTaylor.Realtor.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. We're here with Carol Romano. She's the Executive Director of Heart of Ellsworth, and John Stein. He is the owner of Frogtown Brewing. Thank you both for joining us this morning.
Great to be here.
And you guys are here to talk about a really exciting event coming to Ellsworth this weekend. Down East Cider and Cheese Festival. Do you guys want to talk about what your part to play is in it and what it's going to be like?
Sure. This is our 5th annual celebration of heritage food from around the state, but it really connects nicely with our heritage in Ellsworth, as we have been known as a shipping industry export, and apples were the #1 export back in the 1800s.
I didn't know that. Cool. Do you guys have a cider right now that you're showcasing at the event?
We do. It'll actually be available in these tasting bags that we're selling tickets for, and at the Bazaar Marketplace as well. This is our cider here, but there's ciders there from all over the state. And the cider in Maine has gotten really, really incredible. It used to be a staple. Everybody with a homestead would grow cider apple trees and make their own ciders, and sort of forgotten about for a while. And now it's seeing this renaissance, and really incredible ciders are coming out of Maine now.
Yeah, so I mean, other than the bazaar, what other types of events will be going on? It's Friday and Saturday, correct?
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Gotcha. So there's a full weekend of events going on.
Yeah, so there's tastings
that
are happening. We have a book talk on Friday night. And then we also are selling the tasting bag that's here that's on sale now online for pre-sale. And there's a component to it where it was a pre-recorded tasting, so people can take the bag home and go and enjoy it at home, and to watch the tasting and the pairing of the cheeses from around the state and the ciders.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Where's all the cheese coming from?
Cheese is coming from all over the state, and we have also, as a great pairing with the cider, there's also a really wonderful situation happening here in the state where we have a real amazing concentration of amazing makers, and so we've sort of been in partnership with the Maine Cheesemakers Guild in helping to find the cheesemakers that are at the festival as well as in the basket in the tasting bag. So it's been nice to be able to bring in other makers.
Yeah, that's really special that it's all Maine based. Are there other things that are kind of more New England-y, or is it just all down East Maine products?
It's all Maine, all over the state.
Wow, I did see live music too, right?
That's right. So the sort of after party after the marketplace in downtown Merrill Park, Ellsworth, is over at Fogtown Brewing. We'll be doing a cider pressing demonstration.
Cool.
We'll actually have the community come and help press apples that will go into next year's cider that we're releasing for this festival, as well as some live music on our stage, and we'll open for wood-fired pizzas and all that.
Wood-fired pizza. Wow, you guys covered all the stops. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys have an awesome turnout.
You probably have a website people can go to for more information?
Yeah, theheartofellsworth.org is ours, and each of the purveyors can be found on there, and also the people who are going to be at our festival market on Saturday from 10 to 3.
Tickets can be bought for the goodie bags and stuff there too?
Yep.
Cool. Awesome.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you both for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having us.
Hope to see you at the festival.
I hope so too.
I have a feeling somebody might be going to
I'm getting talked into it more and more. We'll throw it over to Devin Biggs for our full weather forecast.
Thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Shepherd Toyota, your hometown connection for Toyota cars and trucks. Easy to find on Route 1 Rockland, Thomas, and Town Line. Shepherd Toyota has a great selection of new and previously loved vehicles. At Shepherd Toyota, they don't sell you a car, they help you buy one. Come experience the Shepherd difference today. Let's get things rolling this morning. No, here we are. We do have small craft advisories until 7 a.m. on Friday, indicated right about in here. And then further down, we're going to have a gale watches up, and gale watches are actually up for everybody now. It'll last until 4 p.m. on Saturday. Beforehand, we'll see this getting upgraded to gale warning, so that other system that will be approaching soon. But this morning, though, we're seeing a few returns on the radar, so a few sprinkles can't be ruled out, but any of the precipitation that's falling is in the northern parts of the state. We'll throw the radar into motion. We've had a little bit of this moving through over the past few hours, though, and even as we give you the bigger picture, we're seeing just a little bit more of this that's going to be tracking from the northwest to a little bit to the east-southeast, but it's going to take a general northeasterly jog as the day progresses on, so don't worry about this. We will stay dry as the day progresses on later on. So you might be seeing a few sprinkles this morning, but that'll be about it. Let's zoom things out right now and give you the big picture. So high pressure is helping us out. I'll push a lot of this further off towards the northeast. We have a cold front located right about in here. This right here is going to be tracking off towards the east as time progresses on, and there's a cold right there that made landfall in Florida this morning, actually just weakened into a tropical storm. So now it has made landfall as a Category 1 hurricane. The latest update now in has it as a tropical storm yet again, with winds up to 70 miles per hour, moving towards the west-northwest at 14 miles per hour in these orange shaded areas, or tropical storm warnings that are in effect. Where's it going to be? Weakening pretty quick as the center of the system is going to stay over land. It'll maintain a tropical storm status for a while, but once we head towards Friday afternoon, possibly weakening to a depression as it tracks off towards the northeast. We'll see the remnants of this system mixed in our backyard, but we'll have to see as it develops. But otherwise, though, moving forward, maybe some gusty winds up to 15 miles per hour. Today, some gusts up to 20 miles per hour along the coast, and we'll maintain that a little bit later on tonight. All of the winds will gradually back off as we head towards Friday until our next system moves in. Wave heights are still up 5 to 7 feet. That's why small craft advisories are in effect, and of course, higher surf will be on the way as we head towards your weekend. Further down toward the south, though, here we are. We're seeing higher surf courtesy of Nicole. Some buoys seeing up to 29 feet. That's a lot. That's a very high surf, and that's being noted in a few areas. Our average high is 48 degrees. We'll reach for the lower 60s today, upper 60s for you Saturday before that sharp cool down moves in Sunday, and we're back in the 40s as we head towards the next week. Futurecast moving forward, though, again, we're watching those returns today. I don't think we'll have to worry about much rain. Just a few passing clouds, otherwise a lot of sunshine with a mostly clear sky on the way later on tonight. But again, Friday night and the parts of Saturday, that's when our next system begins to move in for showers and some heavy rainfall at times, maybe even some thunderstorms as we head towards Friday night as well. Here's where it begins to move in. So most of Friday we're dry. It's Friday night where things can get a little interesting, and a decent amount of rainfall as well. 1 to 2 inches of rain cannot be ruled out before we're all finished up, so some more decent rainfall across a good part of the state. So for today, we're dry, partly cloudy, mild and breezy, highs in the low 60s, with that southwest wind getting up to about 20 miles per hour. Later on tonight, middle 40s, mostly cloudy, not as cool. That south breeze getting up to about 5 miles per hour. Shepherd Toyota extended forecast. Friday is Veterans Day, mostly cloudy, highs in the low 60s. The rain begins Friday night, some thunderstorms possible as well. We'll have upper 60s on Saturday, rain likely, and some afternoon rain Sunday before we dry out on Monday.
So you're 45. That's the perfect age to see some old friends, explore new worlds, and to start screening for colon cancer. Yep, with colon cancer rising in adults under 50, the American Cancer Society recommends starting to screen earlier, at age 45. I'm Cologuard, a non-invasive way to screen at home on your schedule, and I find 92% of colon cancers. I'm for people 45 plus at average risk for colon cancer, not high risk. False positive and negative results may occur. Ask your provider if Cologuard is right for you.
The Furniture Gallery's pre-Black Friday deals are here. We're fully stocked just in time for holiday get-togethers. We've got your choice of 5-piece dining sets starting at $449. Need extra living room seating? Sectional starting at $699 and recliner starting at $299. Long-distance guests staying over? Queen mattresses as low as $299 with closeout mattresses up to $1,000 off. Special financing is available. Support our main family-owned business and save money. The Furniture Gallery in Augusta, Bangor, Gorham, Newport, and North Windham.
They needed help, so they asked for volunteers. In 24 hours, I was at the front.
And the captain said, well, we're going to be next. It'll be here in 2 minutes. We saw the torpedo coming in, and it hit us right in the middle. Big thump, but no big explosion. And all I could hear was about 1,000 whispers of, oh, thank you, God. Thank you so much.
I looked at the door, and out comes all these women with those beautiful uniforms on. I think a light bulb went off in my brain because I thought, I think that would be for me.
Who is it that's still living that was in World War II? I'm one of the youngest.
This Veterans Day, we honor Maine's World War II veterans. Our heroes, their own words, Friday at 8 on ABC 7.
A rap icon gets a biopic. A closer look at Naomi Ackie, is it?
I don't know.
We'll find out as a legendary singer and more.
Fox's Steve Rappaport has the latest from the Hollywood Nation.
We have found him, our star.
A new look at Pinocchio, Houston faces challenges, and Snoop tells his story in the Hollywood Nation. A Snoop Dogg biopic is in the works. The rap icon is teaming up with Universal Pictures to bring his life story and legacy to the big screen. Snoop will co-produce the film that will include music from his massive catalog. It marks his first project under his newly formed production company, Death Row Pictures.
Please welcome Whitney Houston!
Speaking of biopics, today's first look features Naomi Ackie struggling with fame as Whitney Houston in I Wanna Dance with Somebody. TriStar Pictures released a new trailer, giving an extended look at Akkie's portrayal of the legendary singer, addressing criticism that her music is too white. The preview also shows other notable moments from Houston's career and personal life. It debuts in theaters December 23rd.
He's just a puppet. No, I'm not. I'm a real boy.
And Netflix released the official trailer to Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. The stop-motion animated musical is a reimagining of the classic